Hello and welcome to another Stevie Pics tutorial video, and today, looking at the caption card, I can see that we're going to be talking about applying a watermark, and in particular we'll be covering two very important aspects of watermarks, and I've put there the keywords promotion and security. Before we do anything else, let's have a look at the actual picture that we are going to want to watermark. There it is. This is a picture I took 3 or 4 years ago down at the Thames Barrier in Woolwich in London as part of London's tidal flood defences, if that's of any interest to you. Okay, so that's the image. Now let's go and have a look at my watermark. There it is, a very nice tidy image watermark that was produced for me by a very good friend, graphic artist, talented painter Ronald Hernandez. Thank you very much to him. Right, the image is selected already. You can see the marching ants around the image, so I'm just going to copy that now. Don't worry too much about the fact on that image you can see the text is black. It won't be black for very long because we shall do a little bit of changing with that image. Right, going back to the picture. There it is. Okay, let's go Command and V, and then we drop our watermark into the picture. Now, first decision to make is where do I want to put it? I have a bit of a poor history as far as watermarks are concerned, because I like to put the watermark somewhere discreet, somewhere where it sits, not getting too much in the way of the picture. Perhaps down there, or perhaps up here. Now, in presentation terms, it makes a lot of sense, but in terms of security, which we'll come on to shortly, you'll see that it has a liability, shall we say. Okay, I'm just going to make that a bit smaller there. Before I continue to talk about security, I'm just going to do a bit of work on enhancing the watermark. So if I go into the layer there in which the watermark text is, and I'm going to double click on that, you can see this brings up layer styling options. So we have the possibility to do any number of effects, bevel, stroke, inner outer shadow, drop shadow, and things like that. Okay, and one that I will always go for is drop shadow. That just makes it stand up from the ground, or from the back, so to speak. I'm also quite fond of gradient overlay, which you'll see produces a nice pearly grey silver look that I like. Well, in this case, I'm not necessarily going to go for bevel. I do find with these things you can get to a point where you overdo them, but now that I've done it, I quite like it, so let's keep it as it is. And texture as well, that's one that is quite nice to apply sometimes. Okay, so I say OK to those. Right, so there we are, logo nicely placed. Usually also I'll take the opacity of the watermark down, like so. Again, keeping in line with the idea of the name, my name being there, visible, but at the same time not dominating the issue. So back to these questions of promotion and security. From this point of view, a logo, that's why we put that on the picture. We are saying, this is a Stevie Pics picture, and I want you to know that, and if you like it and you think it's wonderful, come and commission me to do all sorts of photographs for you. So that's a very important marketing tool. But now the aspect of security, which has to be considered. Basically, if you look at where I've got the logo at the moment, against a nice clear bit of sky, wonderful, isn't that fantastic? Okay, so I put that online somewhere, and some unscrupulous magazine editor type chap, not many of them out there, but they are out there, sees the picture and he says, oh, that would just right for that article that we're doing, but we've got no budget, I don't particularly want to have to pay the guy, so I'll tell you what, we're going to steal the image. Okay, and he's gone into the cloning stamp. There we go. Okay, in no time at all, he is going to work on your image, or at least he would be if I was in the right place. Let's just flatten that down. So back to the story, in no time at all he's going across your image. You'll want a bit more flow there. And it's really not going to take him long. Too much work to get rid of that logo. I don't need to do any more of that. You've got the general principle there. You can see what I'm getting at. So what is our approach to that? What is our strategy in terms of protecting ourselves? Right, we've got back to the image. What I'm going to do is just try it in a different placing. I'm going to say, well, what if I put it down here? Now that's a slightly better placing because there's a lot of detail in the background you'll see there. So it's not so easy to clone out, but at the same time there's that much water in that river and that much texture that really it could be done if they were minded to. So basically what that tells us is that location isn't going to work particularly well either. Realistically, there's only one place, one ideal place for a logo, and that is somewhere in the body of the image and across the image, covering a wide space and with as much detail behind it as possible. So let's go for that option now. And let's really go big on this. Part of you is thinking, oh, but it's all across my image. And you're not too happy about that. But at the same time, you wouldn't be too happy to see your picture appear uncredited, nicked by somebody else, and with you hardly having any recourse of claim on the publishers, whoever they were. Okay, there we have a nice central placing. We have lots of detail behind the image, as you can see. So anybody that feels they want to take that take that image out, really would have their work cut out for them big time. At the same time, let's just reduce the opacity because it clearly is dominating the image there. So we have that image at about that size and about that opacity. Essentially, the picture is still there. You can see the essence of the picture, so it's not detracting too much from the picture, and it gives you that degree of security that you need. Thinking about it, I'm going to make it even a bit bigger. You might also find that if you don't cover enough of it, then those nasty people can actually make a crop of the image, which completely misses the logo altogether. I'll confirm on that. Right, I think that's fairly well watermarked there. So just to recap on our themes today, applying a watermark and promoting yourself, but more importantly, providing security for your image and making sure that it can't just be ripped off by somebody else. It's a sad fact of life that we have to have this very sensitive approach to security, but in an age where we put so much of our photography online electronically, there's virtually no difficult mechanics to copying an image and reproducing it somewhere else. So it really is something that we do have to be mindful of. That's it for now. Promotion and security, applying a watermark with me, Stevie Pics. Hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching.